All right, we are officially live. Sometimes technology does work. Yay. So guys, I am really excited about today's topic. And you got a little hair sticking up. Love it. But no, this was in.
Don't notice this stuff until you're like live.
Today's topic and this actual series that I'm going to do, like I put in the event, you guys, was inspired by the State of Thrive call. And when Jason Camper got on the phone and he was just giving us some amazing golden nuggets, and he's like, how is Alabama the most winningest team? They master the basics. They do it over and over and over again. And I love his sports analogies. And just really listening to him talk about, guys, you know, sometimes I feel like a broken record. We're saying the same things over and over again. But if we master the basics and get really good at those basics, gosh, you're going to be successful. So that's what this series is about. And I'm really excited to have our special guest be Brittany Beneke. And the reason why I chose her to be this first special guest, because each topic is going to have a different guest, is because she was the one that sent that message to me that changed my entire world. So what we're going to be walking through is how do you effectively share your story, whether it's private messages, social media, belly to belly, person to person. How do you do that without being like Spamela Pamela to your friends? Because really we just want them all to feel better, right? We're excited. How do you get that across to them without being salesy? So I'm just going to kick this off with, I got a message from Brittany. We had known each other, and our kids went to the same daycare, right? And she really utilized the fact that she knew we had kids the same age. We went to the same daycare. And I got a message from Brittany, and she's like, Amy, I don't know if you're going through half the stuff that I am as a new mom, but I tell you what, I finally found something that works. My shoulder isn't hurting anymore. I'm dusting off my athletic shoes. I'm making better eating choices. I'm not napping with my kids, and I'm happy. Yeah, that's a mouthful in a very short message. And I just got goosebumps. That's where it all began. There might have been some other tidbits in there, but that's all that I remember hearing. Because really what stood out to me was exactly not what she thought that I needed. She thought I was this big workout person. I heard her shoulder wasn't hurting. And that was my major problem right there, was I wanted my joints to feel better. So guys, that's not a spammy message. I didn't know she was a promoter. I really didn't. I had no idea that she was with the company. I saw that message friend to friend. So I'm going to kick it right off to Brittany right now, because we're going to give you some ideas of effective messaging, right? Because just post it. I did my tip of the day. Oh, you guys haven't gotten it yet. Sorry, I haven't sent it. If you just post on social media, you can't expect to get the kind of response that you would than sending a personal message. You're being very purposeful. And so anyway, Brittany, just go ahead and give us some ideas of different ways besides what you did with me that people can reach out via a private message that is not spammy. You know, because that's our big concern. We stop right there at the message and we're like, oh, I don't know what to say. So they're gonna think I'm selling them something, right?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say first, thank goodness this product is a better salesperson than I am, because you get this in your body and 7 to 10 days on an empty stomach, things are going to change. So I've always stuck to the stories on the fan page. It was one of those things that I looked at before I ever decided to trust Sheila. You know, I knew her experience. I was watching her on Facebook, but I started reading all of those stories and little tidbits, just kind of like the ones that maybe Amy picked out of my message, started just to, I don't know, like it hit me hard. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And oh my gosh, that's my dad. And there's my cousin. And before I knew it, I thought of all these people that this could benefit. But I was one of those skeptical people too. So it took getting that product in my body a little bit. And by day 5, man, like Amy said, I was on cloud thrive. Something was different with this product, and I'd never shared my vitamins with people before. You know, I used to do parties with other things where you could actually look at and see. So this was a whole different concept for me to be able to share something that maybe wasn't just a before and after picture type thing. And I was intentional. I still am very intentional. There's red flags and people crying for help all over Facebook, all over in your, news feeds. And, even holiday parties now, people are going to be tired and achy and moody, and we have something that can help them. But I did find myself kind of like that. Oh, what are people going to think? I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to be weird or awkward. Well, number one, if you go into it feeling or worried that you probably are. So why don't you switch up the way you're approaching it? Maybe don't start with, hey girl, I have a product for you. Maybe it's, oh my gosh, how are those kids doing? I see you're so active in sports. Me too. What's new in your world? Just open it up for a conversation first. And number one, obviously I am still learning. I'm no expert. We definitely have just stuck to the basics and worrying about what it is this product is doing for us and sharing that. I try not to overthink it, because if I do, I end up just not wanting to send the message, or I get worried, or so don't overthink it. Just get it out there and send a message to start building some relationships. I've really built a business on, hey, I read this story, thought of you, because number one, people love to kind of talk about themselves, and they care if you care. So, hey, I care so much about you. I wanted to share this with you, as a friend shared the Thrive experience with you yet. Gosh, I'd hate to miss out. A lot of times if I look back and people are on my lists, I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have been crazy busy. I haven't had a chance to share this with you in a long time. So much has happened. Or if you've never reached out and you've been thriving for a while, you can say, wow, I'm so sorry. I haven't shared this with you yet. I'm so thankful that a friend shared with me. I don't want to keep this to myself, kind of stuff, So be authentic and real and caring and nurturing. And we're out to help people, right? So if you come out and say, hey, I have this promo, I have this deal, read the message. If you got that message from a friend, how much personal stuff are you going to get out of it? So if it's just a copy and paste type thing, maybe throw that out the window and start to just make a list of 10 people that that need this product. Start to comment on what they're doing. Hey, I read the story, thought of you, hope you're well, hope the family is doing awesome. There's so many stories. You search Facebook, hey, Thrive Experience daycare provider, Thrive Experience runner, Thrive Experience, whatever, and you're going to find a story that relates to people. So find a story that relates to them, care about them, find their why, and then move forward with that.
I love it. What's really funny is you and I, we communicate so darn often, and I had all these things written down, if she doesn't say it, I'm going to bring it up. And you literally covered my bullet point list, because that, this is just how we roll. We didn't talk about this ahead of time at all. This morning, I'm like, hey, will you join me? And this is the topic. I'm like, can you just cover, private messaging? So this is how on the same page we are without even talking ahead of time. I love that. You got a million golden nuggets. Go back, rewatch this video, write those down. But so I don't need to reiterate any of that. The biggest thing is knowing why you're reaching out to people. If you have no idea why you want to help them, it is spammy. Then it's just, if it feels yucky, it is yucky. And I love, love, love that. I love the fan page. I love it when you read a story and it makes you think of someone. Share it, click share, send it to them in a private message. There is no better way to say, hey, this is helping people with what you have, than giving them that proof. It's right there on the fan page. So yes, we don't have pictures to share.
And with that, I do have a quick tip. I do have a quick tip. When you're making your list of people that your future thrivers list, those people you want to help, those people who deserve to thrive in life. Okay. Write this down. Don't just go into every day thinking, oh, I might reach out to this person, this person. Write it down and maybe have a cheat word right next to their name. So then something in your mind will remind you, oh, I got to send a message about this, or this is what their why is, or this is what I know that they need.
Yeah. Achy knees, tired mom, loves working out, looking to lose weight. You name it. Guys, your friends and family. So love, love, love it. And this brings me to my next way to share. Okay. So that's one way to share your story via private message. That's how Brittany got me by the heartstrings. I'm like, I was out looking for something, and luckily she reached out, because I would have gone elsewhere to get that had she not reached out, because I never saw it on social media, you guys. I didn't see one thing of it on social media. So I'm grateful she reached out. Let's talk a little bit about person to person. I think I know this is where my husband thrives, and it's definitely where I thrive also, is just talking to people, being around people. So when I hear promoters say, I am so busy, I'm here, there, everywhere, kids events, school events, this, sports, you name it, I'm like, perfect. You are around a ton of people who need Thrive. So how do you share Thrive with people when you're out and about, when you're around people? So I'm going to give you just a few little tips on this area, which is one of my favorites. I'm a social butterfly. I love talking to people. I love, hey, if I'm in line in the grocery store, hey, how's it going? Oh my gosh, it's freezing out, isn't it? You will not believe people just opening up their hearts and souls to you when they're waiting in line, right? So strike up conversations and listen to people, right? So and another way to strike up a conversation, if you're in a group of people, sometimes all you have to say is, oh my gosh, how's it going today? How's everybody doing? You're going to get an entire slew of complaints that are going to start rolling through. Okay, and what you choose to do with what you're hearing is going to be completely up to you. So let's just use that for example. You're at a sporting event, or you're with a group of people, and oh my gosh, how's it going? Are you ready for Christmas? Are you excited? What's new? Open up a conversation. You're going to hear people say, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I'm stressed. Holy cats, I've already gained 5 pounds after Thanksgiving. I got to get healthy after the holidays. Man, it's freezing out. My joints are achy. I just couldn't even do anything at the gym today. Guys, how often do you hear that stuff all day long? Or, oh my gosh, I'm dealing with this massive headache, right? So let's just start with that. Let's say somebody says, oh my gosh, I'm just so achy. It's cold outside. What do I do? Number one, guys, relate. Don't go into sales pitch mode. This is not what we do. We don't pitch sales. You pitch tents, not Thrive. But go into, be relatable. I can say, oh my gosh, I used to feel the same way. My joints used to hurt so bad I could hardly sleep at night. And especially when it got cold and damp, oh my gosh, I could predict the weather. Okay, now I'm relatable, right? But hey, I found Thrive, and that's totally helped me. I'm not saying that I'm a promoter. I'm not trying to sell them anything on the spot. I'm just saying, hey, this is what I use, and this is what works for me. You should check it out. And oh my gosh, I'd love to learn more. Hey, yeah, we're at a sporting event right now. And it's loud in here or whatever, but I tell you what, just drop me your email address. I'll get you some more information that will show you how you can get logged into the website. Check it out for yourself. And I've got some other things. I'll invite you to like their testimonial page too. You got to check it out. There's tons of stories. I know you're going to relate to them. That's where I begin. I don't overload them past that point. I relate. I get them excited. I tell them I'm going to hook them up with a login so they can do it later. And I'm inviting them to like the fan page, which is going to offer the validation of that login, right? Now it's going to start rolling through their newsfeed. So that's kind of how I roll with that. Now we take it to another conversation. Maybe they want to ask more. I'm just going to share more. Well, gosh, it's not just me. My mom, she had achy joints too. My sister. Now I'm going to offer validation through other people's stories. So you're going to have a lot of stories in your back pocket. So that's one way. Let's say they're talking, I'm going to take it a different perspective now. Let's say they're talking about headaches. I never dealt with headaches, but I know Thrive helps with headaches, right? So I have stories in my back pocket. Oh my gosh, you're dealing with headaches? I've never really dealt with that, but my friend Sheila, she used to deal with headaches all the time. And man, Thrive has really helped her with that. Like I use it for different reasons. I love the energy, the sound sleep, help with my achy joints and better workouts, but she swears by it for her headaches. And so now I'm relating someone else's story to her because I have it right there in my back pocket. I know my leaders' stories, right? And same thing, like, gosh, if you are interested in learning more, I can show you where you can check it out on the website. Send me your email. I'll get you hooked up to where you can learn more and watch for a notification from me. I'll invite you to like their testimonial page and let's chat later. There's two very different options. So, know who has a story with energy, sound sleep, achy joints, weight management. I mean, you name it, headaches. It helps with all of it. If you can relate it to somebody, now they're going to get excited. So that's just kind of the basics there. See how I just walk them right through it. I'm not selling them anything. I'm not trying to, get them to purchase right there. But one of the biggest things too, you guys, when you're out and about and around a lot of people, wear that DFT where people can see it, because that alone is going to strike up conversations, and it's going to bring us to that next question, which I'm going to have Brittany answer. Sorry, you don't even know what I'm going to say, but they're going to see that sticker. They're going to see the DFT on your hand or your arm, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, what is that? Did you hurt yourself? Or did you quit smoking? What is that? So what is your answer to what is Thrive, Brittany?
Well, I'll usually say, oh my gosh, you haven't heard of this yet? Man, it's been awesome. By day 5, I had more energy than I had in 5 years. I can't believe you haven't heard of it yet. What's your email or last name, your phone number? I'll write it down. I'll send you some information. Did you lose me?
No, you're okay.
Am I here?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so keep it simple. I mean, don't throw up Thrive. Just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you haven't heard of it yet. Let me send you some more information. I could go on and on all day. Love this stuff. Going back to like the belly to belly, meeting people, seeing them, I really wanted to just point out, because this has been so me, but I've picked up after the fact. So if you freeze up or you're in a conversation and you're just like, oh gosh, yeah, that kind of stinks. I'm sorry to hear that, because if they're complaining about something, keep that here. And maybe a couple days later say, gosh, send a message. I haven't stopped thinking about you, talking about your headaches. I read this story, thought of you. I've heard of so many people who have, had great results with it. I didn't want to keep you out just in case this could help you. Like, I haven't stopped thinking about you, talking about wanting to get back to working out, girl, and your joints are bothering you. I wanted to just tell you how much it's helped me. So maybe you don't say anything face to face. You're just like, oh, you're listening, you're taking it all in, and then you follow up later. Don't think like, oh man, I didn't bring it up. What, I missed that opportunity. No, you didn't. You took it and take that and put it into a new opportunity to message them and follow up and say, I've been thinking about you. I just couldn't imagine not sharing this in case it does help, kind of stuff. So that's just kind of going back to that. I was thinking about that when you were sharing yours. But no, as EFT Loud and Proud, people are going to be asking about it. It's becoming more and more of a household name. So, hey, you do that sticker thing? Yes, love it. Can't imagine a day without it. What are you looking for most? We got to get you thriving. So just be confident when you see people.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up, because the opportunity to actually continue the conversation, I mean, you're out and about, things get crazy, and you might miss that opportunity, but you don't, because then you can go back and revert back to the private message, which is where you can really get into that personal conversation. So I love that. My answer to what is that on your arm, or what is Thrive? Again, it's your story, you guys. Know how to share your story in 30 seconds or less. Like, it doesn't need to be this big, long spiel. Like, oh my gosh, this is my Thrive. You haven't heard of it? It's been the biggest life changer for me. Man, before Thrive, I was achy. Now my joints don't hurt. I'm rocking my workouts. I'm sleeping like a baby at night. I have more energy than I know what to do with, and I'm happy. Like whatever it is, guys, just know your story and whip it out there. If you practice it in a mirror, I know it's hard to put it out there or to get it into words, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So love, love, love that. Now, another way to share that seems to be the most common, however, I always say sharing via social media is more so for validation of what you're saying to them in person. And you're going to hear a prime example of this in my tip of the day today. So I hope you guys are all signed up for my tip of the day. If you're not, get that via text. It's on the team page. But I legitimately was very much in the beginning, I was very personal with sending out messages, but I was also posting on social media, and nobody likes it. Nobody comments. You guys, that's normal. That is very normal, but don't expect to throw your stuff out on social media and all of a sudden get all these enrollments. It's not a realistic expectation. You might get some initially in the beginning, but it filters off, right? But posting on social media is definitely huge, huge, huge validation. It will brand you. So let's just talk about some different ways to share on social media to get interest without being, again, spammy or posting promos or links or any of that's icky. But being real and showing your real thriving life. So, Brittany, Why don't you share a few of your favorite ways to share your story on social media? And I can give an example really quick while I put you on the spot there. Sorry, but like for example,
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I like to do several engaging posts on Facebook, so I get a lot of different people commenting. So whether it's kids or family or inspirational or whatever it is, where you have a whole different crowd of people watching you. And today I plan on posting just about how, keeping illnesses away and, keeping my kids healthy. I'm going to be doing a post about Blast and how I make it into freezy pops, right? That's something we've been doing in our household. So that's a great way for me to incorporate how I'm utilizing Thrive to keep my family healthy without being spammy. Just little things like that. So, Brittany, why don't you give some examples of how do you brand yourself as a thriver on Facebook without being salesy?
I think the big thing is painting the picture. Like, people have wants and needs and desires and wishes, and they want to be in a certain place maybe that they're not. And so if you are painting the picture that offers them a solution to whatever they're doing, maybe it's, hey, I'm not napping this afternoon with my toddler. Instead, I'm getting laundry done. That's going to speak volumes to a lot of people. And using the stories. That's something I've just started using too with Instagram and with Facebook. I'm finding a whole lot more people are seeing my stories than maybe are seeing my posts. So definitely use those. That's huge. You can add like little graphics to them. You can add music, and it's engaging, and you can see who's watching those things. So those can be people that you add to your list because you know that they're following you. And you can share something to Facebook and then go ahead and share it to your story as well. So you're getting 4 birds with 1 stone. You get the Instagram, Facebook stories, you get the Instagram and Facebook posts. Like all of a sudden, maybe those people that aren't scrolling through news feeds that are just looking at stories are seeing you doing something. Maybe it's making those like blast popsicles. Maybe it's you're drinking a cafe, which it's chilly around here. I'm excited to like have some cafe this afternoon, and that's my plan for the day, is to just show people like my little afternoon pick-me-up that is warm and toasty as it's getting cold, but great and packed full of vitamins as well to keep me, not dealing with the mood stuff. I mean, vitamin D is huge when it comes to seasonal stuff, and that's something I've always dealt with, and I feel like cafe helps with that. So, just painting the picture and bringing it into your life. People want to know what's doing for you and your life in between some of the other like update posts and sharing, regularly.
Absolutely. So as far as social media goes too, I mean, yeah, you are a product of the product, you guys. So stalk yourself a little bit. Is your newsfeed negative? Is it maybe not so energetic? So those are things that your newsfeed is actually like your business card. So if you're talking to someone, or maybe you met someone in the grocery store, and I ended up friend requesting them on Facebook so I could get them more information about Thrive, like, hey, just, shoot me a friend request. Here's what my profile is. I give them that option. And so now they don't really know me, but they go to my profile. What are they going to see? They're going to see a walking sales ad? Or are they going to see a real person with real experiences? Maybe I'm sharing stories from the fan page, right? That's probably one of the most perfect things you can do is click share it to your wall, and edit it to say a little sentence like, man, I can really relate to this one. That was me before Thrive. Huge validation. Another really great way to, maybe you're just saying like, boom, I'm rocking my day today. Maybe you can see your DFT in your picture. Maybe you're not saying anything in your post about Thrive, but you can hashtag thriving, right? Hashtag all day energy, hashtag all natural, whatever you feel like people need to see. Those hashtags are speaking your language without you actually speaking it. And when people search things in Facebook, those hashtags are what brings up your posts for them, guys. People are finding me on Facebook all the time. And I do believe a huge part of that is posting to Lavelle's visitor section, and also hashtags, right? So don't forget about those hashtags, like, Thrive experience, whatever's conducive of what you're sharing, like no more achy joints. It's cold outside, but I'm feeling amazing. Guys, just let people follow your world. There's tons of ways to get your story out there. these are just 3 of the most common ways that I really wanted to just share real life experiences. There is by far a million more ways. We could sit here for hours to talk about it, but we're not gonna. This will get you started. Just get used to keeping your eyes and your ears open. Your eyes open if you're scrolling social media. Don't get hung up in that too long. Set a timer, guys. But keep your ears open for when you're out and about. People are crying for help. They're out there looking for something. We have the answer. If you just know how to share your story, you're going to help hundreds and thousands of people along the way. But if you keep it to yourself, then you're just helping yourself, right? That's not our goal here. Our goal is we have gold in our hands. We have our stories. We don't have to know anything else about the product, the costs, the packages, or any of that, because your answer is always, let me get you a login. You can check it out for yourself, and let me plug you into some resources. I've got a friend who can help answer that. Great question. We have a customer page that has that answer. So then I use those questions as a reason to get them plugged into that customer page. That's another awesome resource that we have. That all comes with each conversation. So guys, hopefully this was helpful. Any closing words from you, Brittany, on we're just mastering the basics today, and it all starts with your story.
Yeah. And, you know, honestly, if you want people to care about what you're doing, learn about what you're doing, and listen, then you got to listen to what they're doing, learn what they're doing, and follow what they're doing, and be interested and engaging. Like, don't just, it's not a one-way street, you guys. It goes both ways. You know, find out what they're doing, be supportive, be authentic and real, and just have fun with it. Because if it's not fun, then you're doing it wrong. We got to have fun too. So,
amen to that. The final tip for you guys that I have learned even just over the years is listen more, talk less, but ask more questions. You don't know what I watched people on the convention or the last lifestyle getaway trying to pitch Thrive to someone about something that they did not want, and they were forever soured. So those are constant reminders to me of don't pitch something that they don't need. Ask questions, listen, learn, care. You're going to be golden. Know your story. So thanks so much for joining, guys. We are at the end of this live. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I will be posting what time, and we're going to hit up the topic number 2 tomorrow. So join us, watch this page, and we're excited to share more. So thank you so much, Brittany.
thanks for having me. Thanks, guys.